Just imagine it for a second. What if you stopped eating for exactly 16 hours, every single day? No breakfast at 7 a.m. No late-night snacks on the couch while watching TV. Just an empty stomach for 2/3 of your entire day. You've probably heard the hype, right? But does skipping these meals actually trigger magical fat burning and massive insulin changes like we constantly hear online?
Section 1. The 16-hour magic myth.
Okay, let's dive into this. 16/8 fasting, which scientists often call time-restricted eating, simply means consuming your entire day's calories within an 8-hour window, followed by 16 solid hours without any caloric food at all. So practically speaking, if you start eating at 12 p.m., you finish your very last bite by 8 p.m., and then you just drink water and fast until noon the next day. Pretty straightforward.
But we have to clear something up right out of the gate. There is this massive myth floating around that fasting magically cancels out junk food. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? But the reality? What you eat during that 8-hour window absolutely still matters. You can't just stuff those 8 hours full of ultra-processed foods, sugary drinks, and huge portions and expect 16 hours of fasting to magically fix it. At the end of the day, your body still has to process every single thing you take in.
Section 2. Your daily chemical clock. Let's actually break down your internal clock block by block to see how body chemistry changes daily. In hours 0 to 4 after your last bite, your body is, well, just digesting. Your blood glucose rises, and insulin moves that energy into your cells. Then, from hours 4 to 8, that insulin starts falling. From hours 8 to 12, as your glucose fades, we see the body dipping into stored energy, like glycogen, just to keep you running. And finally, from hours 12 to 16, your body increasingly relies on stored fat. And this brilliantly illustrates a vital concept about our metabolism. See, there's a huge internet claim that at exactly hour 4, your body instantly flips a switch into fat-burning mode, like turning on a light bulb. But the scientific reality? Human metabolism is a gradual transition. It does not work like a simple on-off button. Your body is constantly using a smooth, blended mixture of fuels. Which brings us to an incredibly important point. Yes, insulin falls between hours 4 and 8, which is great, because it allows your body to access stored fuel. But, and this is a big but, lower insulin does not automatically equal massive fat loss. The fasting window definitely changes your metabolism, sure, but your overall energy intake over time is what actually dictates if you're going to lose body fat. What you are really seeing during this fast is a totally normal process we call metabolic flexibility. Basically, this is the body's natural design to seamlessly switch between fuel sources, like stored carbohydrates known as glycogen, and fat throughout the day. You don't have to be starving for this to happen. This kicks in naturally, especially between hours 8 and 12, to give you a continuous supply of energy to literally keep your heart beating and your lungs breathing while you're fast asleep. And please, remember this. Hour 16 isn't some magical timer where you suddenly morph into a fat-burning machine. Your exact 16-hour response is altered by a wild variety of factors. We're talking the size and makeup of your previous meal, your activity level, your unique body composition, your sleep quality last night, and even your genetics. The 16-hour mark is popular because it fits neatly into a daily schedule, not because human biology hits a universal wall at that exact minute.
Section 3. Does it actually work?
Let's look at the actual data. A 2024 NIH-highlighted study looked at people with metabolic syndrome who stuck to an 8 to 10-hour eating window for 3 months. The results? Modest weight reduction, a decreased BMI, reduced trunk fat, and even an improved HbA1c, which is a key marker for longer-term blood glucose control. So yeah, the potential benefits are definitely real and completely measurable. So the crucial point is this twist. Time-restricted eating isn't necessarily better than ordinary calorie restriction when calories are strictly controlled. Other randomized trials have found that if the total calories are exactly the same, the timing of the meals doesn't always grant you some kind of superior weight loss result.
So you might be wondering, why do so many people swear by fasting for weight loss? Well, the reality is surprisingly simple. Step 1, you stop eating at 8 p.m. Step 2, by drawing a hard line in the sand, you eliminate the midnight snacks, the dessert, the mindless chips on the couch, and all those extra late-night calories. Step 3, you naturally create an energy deficit. People just end up eating less without having to obsessively count every single calorie. It's essentially a really effective boundary.
Section 4. The truth about autophagy.
First things first, let's define what this word actually means. Autophagy is a real cellular recycling process where the body clears away damaged cellular components. Think of it like taking out the cellular trash. It is a very real, very important biological function for keeping your cells healthy and functioning properly.
But we need to bring this back down to earth for a moment. There is absolutely no strong evidence that humans reach some dramatic autophagy switch at exactly 16 hours. A lot of the exciting mechanistic evidence we see thrown around online actually comes from animal and laboratory research. We're talking mice in labs here, not definitive human longevity trials. The science just isn't definitive enough yet to call a 16-hour fast a guaranteed miracle longevity treatment.
Section 5. Is 16-8 right for you?
Look, if you try this schedule, you need to be prepared for some potential downsides. During those first few days especially, you might experience headaches, hunger, low energy, irritability, hangry, difficulty concentrating, and in some cases, particularly in older adults, losing lean muscle mass if the eating window is too restrictive. But keep in mind, a growling stomach isn't always starvation. Oftentimes, hunger is just your body's usual eating schedule ringing the dinner bell, reminding you that it's your normal time to eat.
However, we absolutely must emphasize a crucial warning here. Fasting poses significant risks for people using certain diabetes medications, pregnant people, or anyone with a history of eating disorders. Because blood glucose can fall dangerously low, these specific groups should absolutely not start fasting on their own without discussing it with a healthcare professional first. Fasting is a lifestyle tool. It is never a replacement for proper medical treatment.
Now, what's really interesting about this is one simple reality, and if you take away nothing else, remember this. 16-8 isn't magic, it's a schedule. That is the biggest takeaway of this entire explainer. If this specific timing helps you naturally control your food intake, if it helps you avoid that late-night snacking and allows you to eat nutritious meals consistently, then it is a fantastic tool. But again, it's just a tool to help manage behavior. It is not a miracle.
Because at the end of the day, your health isn't built in one day. It's built by what you do consistently over time. Your body cares about the much bigger picture. What are you eating? How much are you eating? How active are you? And how well do you sleep? Those foundational habits matter so much more than the exact, down-to-the-minute timing of your meals.
Which brings us to our final question for you today. Looking at everything we've covered about exactly how body chemistry changes daily, would you try 16-8 fasting for 30 days, or is it just not for you? Think about your own lifestyle, your own habits, and what kind of routine you can actually sustain over the long haul. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this helped you better understand the incredible, complex science happening inside your body every single day.